Alright guys, so today I'll be showing you how you can choose the right smartphone, the categories of smartphones, and very importantly, how you can buy a budget smartphone. And I'll be listing some of the phones that you can buy for a very affordable and good price that will like get you going while you are creating your content or while you are trying to start doing your live stream and all that. So I'll start from different categories of smartphones. So there are three ways or three categories of smartphones. We have the budget phones, we have the mid-range phones, and we have the flagships. Some of you might have heard of these terms, especially when we say flagships, because it's majorly used for the top phones in or the highest ranked phone by manufacturers. So the mid-range phones, the budget phones are the phones that are least expensive. That means their prices are way lower than the others, but they are also smartphones. They are smartphones. I don't want to start giving examples now because if I start giving examples, maybe some of you are using some of those phones, but I don't just want to list them. But from this video, you'll be able to understand that all smartphones are not the same. And you know how to get a smartphone. And one thing you should know is you don't just buy phones because there are new phones in the market. Sometimes buying some older phones is even better than buying the new ones because some of those old flagships are still way better in performance compared to the new phones that have been released in the market. For example, now Samsung. If you look at Samsung phones, they have different series. So Samsung has budgets, they have mid-range, and they have flagships. So their flagships, in fact, they even have another one, like a different category, and they are called the luxury phones. So I won't go there. So if you want to really go for quality, you go for flagships. But from this video, you'll be able to choose if you can, because you can get results from any of them, but it depends on what you want and maybe your pockets. So smartphones work like this, and these are how they are categorized. So for the budget phones, they are phones that they are not that fast, but you can still use them to perform some tasks like taking pictures, recording videos, even though their camera qualities are not that good. But if you can trick them to give you some maybe a kind of good video, like manageable videos. But I will not advise you go for a budget phone. You can start from mid-range phones because mid-range phones give you something that looks like flagship, but there is still a very big difference though, but it's still okay for a level, so you can still start with that. So although at every level you have something, like you can still get results. So I've always said that there should not be an excuse for not doing something. So you can do whatever you want with any of these phones. So what really matters is the value you're offering. So you can decide to even use your budget phone to be creating content and posting, but the value is what really matters. And nobody even cares how you get your results. What they just want to see is you are creating value and you are getting results. So, but this video will also help you, because when you have value and you are projecting excellence, you, in fact, it brings you. So there is something they call the 1% in the industry. So it brings you close to the 1%, and the higher you go, the closer you get to the 1% in the industry. The 1% and the top guys in the industry, that maybe in tech, in content creation and all that. So the better your videos and the value you offer. So when excellence comes, when you bring excellence into the value you're offering, it takes you further, and you become ahead of your equals. Let me just put it that way. If you bring excellence and the value you offer and you project it, it will take you ahead of your equals. So that's it. So for budget, there are phones within like maybe like 2 gig RAM, um, because in fact the future now, things have gone way high, like in terms of evolution and in terms of tech. So many things have changed. In fact, there are so many things that you can decide to do with your smartphones without even bothering yourself to get a laptop. And the way it is going now, smartphones have become as powerful as laptops. We even have gaming phones now that are so powerful, like more powerful than some of your laptops. And with phones, you have, let me just say, everything in one. So if you think of creating content, or maybe you want to stream from a laptop now, you start bothering yourself with getting external mics to be connected, start bothering yourself with getting sound cards, capture cards, getting a camera, because you can't imagine using your laptop camera. Laptop cameras are usually poor, because I don't know why, but right from time they've always had the same quality, and that is how it has been. If you want to do something nice, you don't depend on your laptop camera. So, but phones now have very good cameras that you can use to shoot your content, and nobody will even know. You can get very excellent video, very excellent live stream directly from your phone, because everything is packed into one small device called the smartphone. So once you get it right, and once you're able to get to the end of this training we are doing and subsequent ones, you will discover that most times you don't really have to bother yourself to, or put yourself under pressure to get the expensive gears. You don't really need to stress yourself, put yourself under pressure. We don't have a camera, I don't have a camera, I don't have light, I don't have this, I don't have that. With your smartphone, just your smartphone, you can do wonders. That's what I want to let you know. So have that in your mind. So it all begins from your mind. Having that mindset of it is possible. And with that, you'll be able to do everything you want to do. From your phone, you can edit your videos, you can go live, you can even make designs. See, you can, if, don't worry, let's just continue. So back to our main topic for today. Three categories of phones. We have the budget, we have the mid-range, and we have the flagships. So I've explained some of these flagships, how you can, sorry, I've explained the budget phones. They are the low grade of smartphones, like very, very affordable. Anybody can buy. They are within the range of maybe in naira hundreds, maybe like 80 to 200 to 300,000 because of the way Nigerian naira is now. So any phone below, let's say about 300,000 naira, that is a budget phone. But I want to show you something. You can get a flagship phone still within that amount, and I'm going to show you the secret. So mid-range phones, like I said earlier, are phones that are between budget and flagship. So they are just in the middle. They are not that expensive and they are not also cheap. Sorry. They are not expensive, they are not cheap, but they are okay. They can still do something good if you use them well. But the flagship phones are those with high-end camera, high-end processors, like high RAM and good storage. So, but I want to tell you something. For Apple devices, Apple does not make mid-range phones. They don't do budget phones. They only do flagships. That's why you see iPhones, they don't have different series. They don't have different categories of phones, unlike the Samsung and the other guys that you have. And they are the ones that control the quality of their phones. They only make flagship phones. Let's say, for example, now you have iPhone 16 series. You have 16, 16 Plus, 16 Pro, and 16 Pro Max. There is no other one. And all are flagships. And their prices differ because of, first of all, their storage, their camera quality. Though they all have good cameras, but the higher you go, the better your camera and the higher your battery too. So the battery life too is is something that determines the price of their phones. So for example, now you have the base iPhone 16 or any of the series, and usually from what we've seen, they usually come with two cameras, just a wide angle camera and a telephoto camera. Two cameras for the base iPhones. Then the plus two is like the bigger one, the bigger phone in the series. Then the highest in the Apple series is usually the Pro Max. So the Pro Max comes with three cameras. Then the Pro 2 is three cameras. So it's just like saying we have a smaller version of this series. We have the iPhone 16 Pro and we have the iPhone 16 Pro Max. Small and big. Pro Max is big, is like the plus of iPhone 16 Pro. I don't know if you are following me. So if you want to get an iPhone, from my own requirement, the least iPhone you can get or you should get is from iPhone 13. But if you have any other, or if you have any other iPhone, maybe like 12, 11, I'm not saying you should dispose it. You can still make good use of it while you are preparing to get a maybe from 13 series. But if you have something lower, you can still make good use of it. You can still get good video qualities. You can still do something very good with it. What you just have to do is to follow this training, and before the end of this training, I promise you, you will know that your phone is so powerful and you didn't realize it. So that's it. Then for the Samsung, we have the base ones, like let's say for example S22. We have S22 Plus, S22 Ultra. Then they are usually FE. So the differences between these phones are the S22 for Samsung, the small and the plus, they are the base and the plus, they are usually the same, just difference in size, just like we have the in the Apple series, the base and the plus. So most times the difference you see there is their battery capacity. So the bigger, the higher the battery. That's what they do. So the bigger your phone, the higher the battery capacity. So that if they want you to get the bigger one, if you need a bigger battery capacity, you go for the bigger one, and you need a bigger screen. So that's it. But usually the camera qualities are still the same, except from the Ultras and the Pro Maxes. So those Ultras and the Pro Maxes are usually the highest in the game. So if you want to go for a very good phone that can give you solid video quality, good audio, you go for the Pro Maxes if you're able to afford it. But for the purpose of this training, we are going for budgets. If you can afford the highest phone, there is no issue. If you can buy a smaller version, get it, you still get your results. Then one secret I need to give you in this training is that don't put yourself under pressure of buying a new phone. So let me just give you a secret. Most flagship phones drop prices as the years goes on. So for example, now a phone like Galaxy S10, Note 10, S10e, they still have good cameras compared to most of the new phones you buy at as mid-range or low budget. So for example, now you can get a Galaxy S10 for around maybe 150 to 200,000 for the 10 S10 series, or maybe okay, like for S10e you can get for around the 150 to 200k. For S10 you can get maybe 200k, between 200k 300k. For Note 10 still like 250 to 300, just like that. You can get all these phones and you will make good content. In fact, let me tell you, when I started creating content, I was using a Samsung Galaxy Note 10, and Note 10 is far back and is way old, like years behind. But I don't mean behind in terms of specs. The specs are still even better than most of the mid-range phones that should I just mention names? Okay, for example, now these techno phones that you guys buy and these Infinix and all that, I would prefer to buy an old flagship instead of buying all these new phones that Techno put in the market. The only thing is that they have their camera, sorry, their battery life might not be as good as these other ones, but in terms of content, in terms of speed, in terms of streaming, in terms of stuff you do concerning media, these are the kind of phones you should buy. You can go for old flagships that are cheap, that are very, very affordable. They will give you better results than new phones that are not even, that are mid-range, and they are way, way more expensive than those ones. So that's my advice for you actually. So if you want to really get the job done, like I said before, value is what matters. But when you bring excellence and value, you'll be ahead of your equals. So I don't know how it's going to be, but in the next class, I'm going to be showing you more things, and we are going to be diving straight to practicals. I'm going to be going straight to practicals, but for the purpose of this, I will just end the class here. If you have questions, you can drop it in the group or in the comment section, and I will attend to your questions. So thank you guys for joining today's class, and I will see you in my next class. Bye bye.